On TVC News. Today, we're starting off with developments in the Middle East, where at least 330 people have been allegedly killed by Israeli airstrike, which targeted multiple locations in Gaza and its environs. Palestinian Health Ministry officials say many of the victims were children. In its latest reaction, the White House says Israel informed it before carrying out the air raid of Gaza. Let's bring you more details in this report.
The Hamas-run health ministry in Gaza says at least 330 people have been killed by Israeli airstrikes overnight. The Israeli military says it had to carry out extensive strikes after talks to extend the ceasefire failed. It comes as the biggest wave of strikes since the 19th of January, when the U.S. brokered ceasefire began. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office says from now on, Israel will act against Hamas with increasing military strength. He is accusing Hamas of repeated refusal to release Israeli hostages and also of rejecting proposal to extend the ceasefire. Hamas accuses Israel of attacking defenseless civilians. The group says mediators should hold Israel fully responsible for violating and overturning the ceasefire. Israel says 59 hostages are still being held in Gaza by Hamas, with about 24 believed to be alive. A group representing the families of hostages is accusing the Israeli government of choosing to give up the hostages by launching new attacks. The group has issued an emergency call, insisting it would head to Jerusalem to protest over claims that the hostages are in grave danger. On the flip side, Egypt has condemned Israel's airstrikes on Gaza. In a statement, a foreign ministry spokesperson says the attacks constitute a blatant violation of the ceasefire deal and represents a dangerous escalation that threatens the stability of the Middle East region.
For more on the internationally disturbing war, global affairs analyst Benga Onifade joins me from the UK. Good to have you join us at this time. Reality has set in. The ceasefire deal could not be extended, and we're hearing hundreds of deaths already recorded in Gaza as a result. I mean, did you at any point think that it would be difficult to actually extend this deal?
No, I still think it can be extended. After all, we do have someone here who is the deal maker, at the White House. He is speaking tough, of course, and he's telling them, you've got to release the hostages. I think that's the key reason why I will say Israel is attacking, actually, while this is actually ongoing with, we've got the president of America who's spearheading this whole cause and is, quite busy with Ukraine and Israel, and Russia at the moment. So, I think while attention is off that, of course, there's still pressure at home as well with President Netanyahu, being pressurized to release the hostages. We've got relatives of these hostages. I think we still have about 59 of them, and all calling for their relatives to be released. So I don't think it's off at the moment, and I think it's quite significant as well. The people who are being killed it's quite unfortunate because we do have quite a lot, and I think you've got to realize that just about a few days ago, President Trump sent a very strongly worded message to them, and they should release all hostages, otherwise they will face hell. And as 24 hours ago, we had Yemenis, rebels who released another message to say they would attack America on all fronts, including all the tankers. So one thing Israel is trying to do is prevent a regrouping of the forces.
Yes, but you mentioned earlier that the deal maker is in power in the White House. But the White House has also mentioned that the U.S. was actually informed before Israel carried out these strikes. So don't you think that the U.S. could have actually prevailed on Israel not to make this move considering the devastation which we now see?
I believe, yes, you are absolutely right. Yes, Israel could have prevailed. Sorry, the United States could have prevailed this conversation. Of course, they do have envoys. They do have a speaker who is forced. He would have to say, okay, what is the outcome? When we're going to have to do a report. But I think the other crucial thing is, yes, Hamas is, I think Israel is trying to make a statement. We will go all out. Nobody will stop us. And, President Trump, again, is on the side of Israel. They said Israel has the right to exist, number one. Number two, Israel, they've literally more or less got the free will to go as they can. But the significance, if we can talk about this as well, is the fact that the parts of America, sorry, of Hamas, or should I say the key, because they do have some key officials that way attacked. It's actually the political rather than the military side, and on that side, it might just be like scoring an own goal, because these are the key negotiators, the key brains of the key leaders who are who will be responsible for building for building Gaza, who are being killed. And so, yeah, in that case, it might just turn an own goal. President Trump hasn't said anything at the moment, I believe, because just got in a couple of hours, he will be speaking to Putin. But at the moment, I'm sure the press has started gathering at the lawn of the White House, and they want to get this thing to the fore.
To end, because thousands of people have already died. And now Hamas is saying that mediators should actually hold Israel fully responsible for violating and overturning these fires. So where does that put Israel now?
Well, I mean, again, if you think about it this way now, Israel will go with the deal points, which is, this whole case, nothing would have started if we didn't have, this strike in October a few years ago. That's what Israel will say. And again, we'll still have Hamas. They haven't been completely eliminated. They are still holding hostages. So Israel still have quite a few key pointers in terms of, the comeback, what the comeback will be. Yes, absolutely. Israel could have been a lot more responsible with with the strikes. Unfortunately, in cases like this, it's very impossible not to have, and I'm not saying that's right at all, not to have casualties. Israel could have been a lot more careful. I think either way, both of them have to come to glass. But again, we've got the world leader, the key powers are swaying on one side right now. Again, they want Hamas to totally come out. I think the olive branch has been tailored to them. Accept this thing, get all the hostages out, but Hamas is actually still holding on. And I think the conversation is swaying. People want the whole war to stop, full stop. But now with Israel coming on, I think, again, there will be a lot more pressure on President Trump and the key deal makers who held the initial talk to get back to things. I don't think the world wants to see the catastrophe or the fracas again to or the escalation of things again.
All right. And a while ago, you mentioned that Israel was really hoping for a total elimination of Hamas. Does it seem that is something that can actually be achieved if that is what Israel is pegging its definition of victory or justice on, really?
Well, good question. How do you define victory in this case? Can you totally eliminate Hamas? No, I don't think you can. That would actually happen, because even if you eliminate the ones you've got on ground, you've actually sowed a seed into the kids. They've all been seeing the children right now. They are seeing this destruction which is happening. So I don't think that will ever, that's ever going to happen anytime soon at all. So you're not actually eliminating the people. You've got the ideologies, you've got the people right there, and you've got the future to contend with. So that would not happen either way. So again, it still goes back to Winston Churchill, joy rather than war. And that's the only way to get a solution.
Global Affairs. All right, then. Global Affairs analyst Benga Onifade, thank you very much for your time on World Now.
Thank you.